Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss the debacle that is Meghan Markle. And did Meghan Markle's PR manager just accidentally spill the beans? Yeah, because that's what I'm getting from this interview. So I'm going to show you some clips. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. But let me introduce you to Ashley Hansen. Ashley Hansen used to be Meghan and Harry's head of communications at Archewell. You may remember her from this absolute debacle of an event when Meghan Markle, an absolute narcissist, would not get off the red carpet, and poor Ashley had to go out there and look at her. She looks so embarrassed, fake smile on her face. Come on, Meghan, we need to go. And Meghan is just loving herself so hard. It is just complete cringe. Oh my goodness, I felt so sorry for Ashley at this moment. Anyway, Ashley has moved on to bigger and better things. She now has her own PR firm, which is called Three Gate Strategies. Good for her. I wish her all the best. However, unfortunately, she has decided to keep on Meghan and Harry as clients. I would suggest mostly Meghan because it's really Meghan that wants to be famous. Harry probably doesn't need her. Yeah, this is a more normal picture of Ashley here. Now, Ashley did a podcast. It was released on the 30th of January. I've only come across it today. And it is on the podcast called Day in the Life, hosted by Paige Port. And let's have a listen to some of the things that Ashley had to say about working with Harry and Meghan.
Those two so much credit because it never ends for them. There's never a day where they're not in the news. Whereas, most celebrities, famous people, they have, movies that come out and they see an uptake of press and coverage and interest, or there's a crisis and that, the ebbs and flows of that. But, with the exception of presidents, it's unlike anything I've ever experienced before with any other client. And I don't think I ever will. So I give them a lot of credit for balancing and maintaining, a healthy lifestyle and outlook with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, well, first of all, there are no ebbs and flows because Meghan Markle makes sure she's in the papers every single day because she calls the paps. She cannot turn off. She is always on. So, yeah, Ashley, you're going to be working pretty hard because it's pretty much a 24/7 job, this thing. Um, and secondly, please, please never compare Meghan Markle to the president. Do not ever give her any ideas. We don't need that in our life. Oh my goodness. Now, this next clip, I love it because it's something we always knew, but I just love that it comes straight from Ashley Hansen's mouth. Okay. So take a listen to what she says next about social media.
We read everything that's out there. We check Twitter. We're monitoring everything. Because again, like, just because, especially with tabloids, there's an agenda there, and it's a negative one for the most part. So how do you measure, like, okay, if we know that this is going to be biased, like, how do we track how this is actually really registering in people's minds? Like, what is actually seeping in? How do people actually really feel? And usually social media is a good way to kind of gauge that. And then we'll work through, if there's something that rises to the level where it needs, immediate attention, my energy level goes up, but I'm relatively pretty calm. And I find that my colleagues will be like buzzing, like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do?" And I'm just sort of like, "Okay, like, it's fine." Like, they always say, like, their vision of me is like I'm just in a corner in like a mink coat, not real, but I don't have one either. But like with a cigarette and a martini, being like, "We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get through it. It's fine." Like, that's just sort of the vibe. A lot of it is planning for upcoming things. If there's nothing in the immediate that needs, like, a fire doesn't need to be put out. But a regular day could be, more or less a 9 to 7.
Oh my gosh, guys. So there you go. Meghan Markle is all over social media. They are reading our tweets. I love it. I'm going to be posting even more now. We all knew they were reading them, but that is it. That is exactly confirmed. Meghan Markle is reading social media. The other thing I want to say to that is, yeah, a 9 to 7 work day. That is a long day. That is a very long day. This girl is going to be absolutely dead by the end of this. That is insane. They are working her to the bone. And yeah, obviously, there's a lot of negative press, a lot of fires to put out. Can you just imagine when that Variety interview came out and they were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yeah, because your client is a bully and she brings it on herself. This will happen constantly. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's take a look at another clip because there are some more gems in this interview.
And I think reminding people that they are writing about real people. They're not just enigmas. They're not just faces you see on a magazine. They're people that actually, you know, breathe and have feelings and thoughts. Like that does go a long way. And I think context is everything. And having the time and putting in the time to really also not just plead your case, but hear somebody else out, because that is also somebody's profession. Being a journalist or investigating a story is somebody's work. It's their line of work, and they take it just as seriously as I take doing what I'm doing. So I've never sort of approached what I do as like, you're there to do what I say. It doesn't work like that. And I think the days where you would have publicists screaming on the line with editor, how could you? I'm going to sue you, like blah blah blah. Sometimes there is stuff that is absolutely like defamatory and it should be dealt with legally, of course. Like, but I've sort of always, and maybe that's why I kind of always like default more to a calm place, because I think it's almost a lot more about like the art of humanity than it is anything else. It's like people just want to be heard at the end of the day, and they don't want to feel disrespected, and they want to feel validated.
Right.
And I think if you if you can meet them halfway on all of that and plead your case and give the facts and the truth, and that's also something you develop over time, right? Like on a first call you may not get the same result as you would after you've developed a relationship with somebody and they know that you're good for what your word is.
Wow, the art of humanity, guys. So I don't think I've ever heard the word humanity and Meghan Markle in the same sentence. That's my first point there. Secondly, yeah, people do want to be heard, and that's why you can't turn off your comments on social media and still expect to have an audience and still want to engage with your fans. It's not a one-way conversation. We want to be heard, and you need to start listening, Megan, because not everything we say is hateful. Some of it is advice, legit advice. Stop doing this because it's not looking good. Try something else. Listen, Megan. Oh my goodness. She needs to listen to this girl, I swear. Also, truth and facts. That's interesting. Coming from someone whose client is completely like always lying, always making stuff up. Oh my goodness. But this next clip, you guys, have a listen to this because I think Ashley accidentally spills the beans here.
So it kind of took a while, especially because before I was dealing with, UK tabloids or even like the People magazines and the OK magazines and Us Weeklies, I was dealing with the trade press.
Did you guys hear that? People magazine, OK magazine, US Weekly. Let's have another listen.
So it kind of took a while, especially because before I was dealing with, UK tabloids or even like the People magazines and the OK magazines and Us Weeklies, I was dealing with the trade press.
So I find that really, really interesting, you guys, and I'm going to tell you why. People Magazine, OK Magazine, US Weekly are the three she mentions there that she's building a relationship with, that she's talking to. And what do we know about these three publications? They are all 100% pro Meghan. They love Meghan. So what this tells me is that these guys So Meghan Markle's PR manager, Ashley Hansen, and Meghan Markle are actively talking to these publications and putting these stories out. In my mind, she just told me those three publications, she has built a relationship with them and she is feeding them stories. That is what I get from that comment. I don't think she meant to say anything along those lines, but she coincidentally mentions three publications which are always banging on about how fantastic Meghan Markle is. Especially this one here, this US Weekly, this story we got as soon as all of that bullying stories broke for like what, the second or third time, whatever it was. This was all written by Meghan Markle, 100%. All right. So, yeah, in my opinion, Ashley Hansen has just accidentally spilt the beans and told us she and Meghan Markle are talking to these three publications to get fluff stories out. That's all I'm saying, but that's what I hear. That's what I am picking up from that. Oh my goodness. Now, this, of course, has been brought out. It was filmed on the 30th or whatever of January, but it's just been kind of brought to our attention now because I feel that this is a bit of a drip feed for the cooking show because, of course, Ashley mentions something about food, doesn't she? Now, seriously, get your sick bags ready. This is nausea inducing. This is terrible. Have a listen to this hack, if you want to call it that. Oh my gosh.
I got into the habit of making crudité boards. Like, so on a Monday, for example, I'll chop up a bunch of vegetables and put them on a plate. And actually, Megan taught me to do this because she's like, it's a great way to get your vegetables in. And if you just leave it in the kitchen, every time you come to the kitchen, you're like, oh, I want a snack or I want to eat something. It's already out there and you're just going to go for the vegetable instead of like looking for the chips. And it's actually like she's spot on.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Are you kidding me? Is this the kind of stuff we're going to get from this cooking show? Chop up vegetables and put them on a plate? And is this what she's done here? Is that what that is? And she's spinning it around. I swear, is this an ad for the cooking show as well? This is crazy. I mean, that was a terrible hack, guys. Chop up vegetables and eat them instead of eating chips. I mean, I can't with this woman. She is too much. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, what do you think about that? Did Ashley Hansen accidentally just tell us all that she is talking actively to People OK and US Weekly? Is that what she just told us? Is she also spruiking for the cooking show? And yeah, they're reading Twitter. We knew it. Of course, we knew it. But it's just hilarious that she told us so overtly. And yeah, that can never be taken back. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. I really want to hear your comments. What are your thoughts? Please like and subscribe, and I will keep these videos coming. Thank you, guys. Bye.